For me, one of the most important rules of successful gardening is spending time in your garden every day. It doesn't have to be much time, but a day can make a big difference in the success or demise of your garden. I was out here yesterday. This was not here yesterday. I was just over looking at the beets and I scared a great big grasshopper off the beets. This was not here yesterday. I'm noticing more holes here on my Brussels sprouts. That was not there yesterday. Something is eating my plants. When I see that happen, the first thing I do is I check the bottom of the plants. See if I have any sucking insects on here. These don't look like sucking insects at all. Something's been chewing on them. So as I look underneath the leaves, everything looks good. That means I don't have a sucking insect, which would eliminate things like spider mites, which can really devastate a garden in just a couple days. I don't see any worms, and I actually don't see any insects. So what I'm going to go for is my first line of defense in my organic pest control, and that is diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth, food grade diatomaceous earth, is best purchased at a feed store if you can, because cattlemen and horse owners give this to the horses to kill pests inside their digestive tracts. It's perfectly edible. That's why it's called food grade diatomaceous earth. And what I do is I just sprinkle it on my plants. It will kill or injure any kind of insect. So do not put this around any flowers, because the honeybees will get on it and it'll hurt them too. So what diatomaceous earth does is it acts like sandpaper, and the insects get this on them and it just tears up their exoskeletons. So whether it's a worm or a mite or a grasshopper, whatever it is, they'll get this on their body and this will just tear them up. Now, this is non-discriminative, so it'll hurt any insect that's in your garden. So be aware what's in your garden before you do this, so you're not hurting your insects that you want in your garden. Now, obviously, if it rains, this will be washed away. And obviously, I'm not getting this on the bottom side of the plants. But I can simply add this to water at any ratio that I want, because the water is simply a carrying agent to allow me to get this over to the plants. I would simply mix this and dissolve it into the water and then spray that on the top and bottom sides of all the leaves. I think that's probably all that I will need on this application here. I'll go ahead and do that to my other plants too, but while I'm here I want to talk to you about my other two favorite organic pesticides. If you have any kind of worm or caterpillar, I highly recommend getting BT. It's called Thuricide, but everybody in the industry knows it as BT. Very easy to apply. You mix this with water and you spray it on the tops and bottom of the leaves. If you see any hornworms or tomato worms on your tomato plants, immediately spray this on. It may take 1 or 2 applications, but it doesn't take much. Make sure you spray it on the top and bottom of the leaves. Whenever you apply a liquid pesticide, you want to cover 70% of the leaf or more. That includes the top and the bottom of the leaf. Now, if my dogs come out here and they happen to lick this off, it's not going to hurt them at all. As a matter of fact, it might help them if they have any bugs in their intestinal tract. So if you've got an undetermined insect problem, I would first go to the diatomaceous earth, the food grade diatomaceous earth. Then, if you notice that you have worms or caterpillars, immediately go to the BT and spray that in a pump sprayer. Then, if you have any sucking insects like spider mites, you'll find them on the bottom side of the leaves. The plant will start wilting and you'll want to water it more, you'll want to fertilize it more, but it doesn't help. Whenever you see any kind of unexpected deterioration of the plant, always look for sucking insects underneath. It's probably not going to be the watering and it's probably not going to be the fertilizer, but it can be a pest. Simple solution for sucking pests is the neem oil. It's organic and it works great. These plants here were almost completely gone. I sprayed them with neem oil after I mechanically took off as many spider mites as possible. I just kind of washed them off with the hose. Sprayed it with neem oil. Came back 7 days later, sprayed it with neem oil again, and I've never had a problem with the spider mites here. Obviously, I've got something eating these plants. So those are my 3 favorite, and actually my only pesticides that I use in the garden. Food grade diatomaceous earth for all insect problems, BT for caterpillar or worm problems, and the neem oil for sucking insects like spider mites. I hope this video is helpful. I'll have links below where you can get these online at a very good price. I would also recommend, for the best price of this, is that you go to a feed store. But for the other items, you can pick them up locally or use the link I have online. They may be from a different manufacturer, but just make sure that they do say BT or Thuricide or neem oil on it. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. And if you spend just a few minutes a day in your garden, you can almost ensure a healthy, strong, highly productive garden.